I'm heartbroken and I'm done. I have no one. My wife and I have been married for 15 years and we have 3 teenage daughters together. I'm tired of feeling like I'm an outsider in my relationships with all of them. I'm just an ATM and taxi service to my kids. My wife hasn't kissed me in 8 months. She has not said that she loves me in 1.5 years. No matter how much I communicate, try to plan anything or do anything, it is always shot down, forgotten, or dismissed. I don't get angry and don't yell. I don't get physical. I like to splurge during birthdays and Mother's Day. I throw parties and give gifts and try to show how much I love them. I get a lukewarm, thanks, and if I'm lucky, a side hug that lasts half a second. This week was the breaking point. Father's Day. I woke up to an empty house. Odd. No note, nothing was written on the calendar, and nothing said beforehand. I sent a text, and I got back. I took the girls out for a spa day, don't wait up. Then nothing, literally nothing. Dinner time comes around, and they get home. I ask what they would like for dinner. Nothing, we already ate dinner. They went to my favorite restaurant without me on Father's Day. Cool, whatever. There is no mention of it being Father's Day. No, I love you, how are you? Nothing. Fast forward to Wednesday. Which was my birthday. Nothing. Literally again nothing. I suggested plans. They get shot down. I suggested food. Shot down. Ask about watching a movie but they are all too busy, they just sat on their phones doing nothing. Now to Thursday night. I'm in bed. My wife is next to me. She rolls over and says in a crappy tone, "Oh, your birthday was the other day. I guess you expect to have intimacy." That broke something in me. I said, "No, I don't expect intimacy. At this point, I don't expect anything anymore." Her, what is that supposed to mean? So I started asking her questions. When was the last time we shared a kiss? When was the last time we had intimacy? When was the last time you said you love me? When was the last time we went on a date? Her, you're being unfair. Emotions turned on fully. I was crying and raising my voice at this point. I ask her how? She can't answer. I asked her how wanting any sign of love from anyone in the house is unfair. If expecting anything for my birthday or Father's Day was unfair. Yeah, you forgot that as well. I'm not an ATM, I'm not a taxi service, I'm not a punching bag. She asked why this was coming up, out of the blue. It didn't. I have tried to talk to my family and again get dismissed or ignored. I brought up examples. I got and I didn't know you were serious. I didn't know it was such a big deal. I left saying something to the point of if you want to pretend that I'm invisible and don't exist, fine, you don't have to pretend anymore. I left the house at almost midnight. I haven't been home since. I'm not sure what to do now. I'm finally sober enough to think, but I don't know what to do. I love my family. But I can't keep this up. I only have one message from my wife: I'm sorry for making you feel that way. We all love you, and we are here for you when you want to come home and talk. That is it. No other messages. No calls. Nothing from the kids. I feel like if they really wanted me there, they would try reaching out more. I'm heartbroken and I'm done. I have no one. My kids did reach out after a few days worried. I told them I'm fine, I do truly love them, and miss them but needed space and time. For the first time ever, I missed some of their extracurricular activities. I think that is what made them understand something was really wrong. Some other family members noticed and started asking questions to all involved. My kids also mentioned how things were not the same without me around, and my wife was struggling. My wife reached out a few times just checking in, apologizing, giving me updates on things, and a couple of the times, she asked about the 4th of July. We usually host a party and barbecue. I said I wasn't interested. But, I said that her and I needed to talk alone in person. That happened the weekend after the 4th. Apparently, after I left, she was planning the 4th as a surprise birthday party for me to make up for forgetting my birthday. But I ruined it as I didn't go and wasn't interested. When we met up to talk, she wasn't alone and brought the kids. I was happy to see them. They seemed happy to see me as well. But I asked my wife and I to talk alone. When I pointed this out, she said the kids missed me, and it was fine. We can talk with them here. I believe it was more of a manipulative move. I explained that this was another example of how my feelings or wants get ignored and cast aside. How I've been ignored for a while and how that is not right by anyone. She kept apologizing. I said while I acknowledge the apologies, I don't accept them. Most of the apologies, to me, feel like they are not real. Such as her initial apology of "I'm sorry you feel that way." I also said that she is setting an example and expectations on how I'm treated and how our daughters will see and treat me in their future relationships. As of now, no one should be treated this way. I think at this point, my wife regretted bringing the kids. My 15-year-old took my 13-year-old for some snacks. My 17-year-old stayed. I flat out asked if there was anyone else. If she was cheating. She looked like I had just slapped her. She said she would never do that. We talked for an additional 20 minutes. I finally took out 2 folders I had with me. One was a separation document. The other was therapist referrals for individuals and couples. I needed her to understand how serious this situation was. I asked her to look over each other and ask herself what she wanted. But she had to make the decision and schedule the appointments. I explained that I'm done living this way, and if she chooses to stay with me, then there are going to be major changes occurring both in our relationship and at home. I love the woman I married, had kids with, and built a life together. But I don't know where she went. My kids came back, and my 13-year-old was mad I wasn't going back with them that night. I gave my wife time. She contacted me the next day, saying she has made appointments for herself and for her and I. She explained that she set up some biweekly individual therapy and we have our first couples therapy early next month. The reason for the wait was so she could establish and work on herself first. I have been using the gray rock method towards her since the initial incident. The second night of me being back she actually tried to initiate intimacy but I said no, that it wasn't the time or place for that. We had a lot to work out before that could happen.